Alright, hello and welcome. I know two matches are still to be played in this IPL, and two of the most important matches are to be played, but talk of the town. Talk of the town is
the death stare that KL Rahul's gotten from Gautam Gambhir and the criticism over his performance.
I thought they were having a meaningful conversation.
But to me it seemed as if Gautam Gambhir was about to burst.
Yes.
He was about to perhaps give him a mouthful, but because he was visibly very, very miffed. Gautam Gambhir, I don't know how he controlled himself. Maybe he waited for the dressing room conversation. He didn't want to say anything out in the open. But Nikhil, the question once again is KL Rahul. How did Lucknow Super Giants lose that match? And does that also show that KL Rahul has some deficiencies, especially when he's chasing and also not finishing these kind of matches? But before I go to Nikhil and Siddharth, this is a live question answer session. We are live here and we'll be live for next 30-40 minutes. So you can just send your questions. We'll take, in fact, Shivam is also there, and you can send your questions through comments. So Nikhil,
first question has come. Sai Dattu wants to know, what about your match? Because today is a big game for us at AajTak and Sports Today. Team Blue versus Team Red. Today the game is to start at 7:30 live on the AajTak app. And our game, we will reach the ground. So after we finish this live Q&A with you, we will run to the ground.
And we are not losing today.
We are not losing. Definitely not.
Nope.
We are leading 2-1. When I say we, it is Team Blue versus Team Red. So we,
Team Blue.
Coincidentally, all three sitting here are part of Team Blue.
Yes.
And Team Blue won the first two games, then lost the next. So we are leading 2-1. We want to finish this series by just wrapping it up at 3-1 today. No taking it to the decider. That is our aim. So game starts at 7:30. It's live on the AajTak app. Just download the AajTak app and you can enjoy the live game. We'll go for that. Now getting back to the question, Vijay Vishwanathan is saying LSG lost all matches while chasing. Is that correct?
Not all matches, but
they chased
211 against Chennai.
Yeah, they chased.
The only record is against the top three
teams.
All 6 matches they have lost.
So
yes,
if these,
so that's what. So the only matches they lost were against these three teams in the entire group stage.
If these were the best teams of this season, that is Gujarat, Rajasthan, RCB and LSG. So LSG has lost to the best teams throughout the tournament.
Yep.
5 times in the group stage, 1 now.
Yep.
In Eliminator 1.
But what's wrong with KL Rahul?
So, okay, I know he's getting a lot of hate on social media. He's trending and a lot of people are talking about his strike rate. I saw a lot of former cricketers also question his strike rate. So, I have a different take on KL Rahul. Firstly, I think that, had that scoop gone little bit to the left, not to the hand of the fielder, would have been a 4, and Lucknow would have probably won the game from there. They were in a position to win the game. So, did I disagree with KL Rahul's strategy? I did not. I know there was a stage in the match where he hit 2 sixes and then again started taking singles, but I like that approach. So I like this approach of him being aggressive and careful. I think what he was trying to do is, and I'm going to draw a comparison with the Gujarat game, Hardik Pandya played a similar knock. The advantage with Hardik was, and I think Hardik's strike rate also wasn't really outstanding, he was playing a sensible knock. That's another matter, they were chasing a few runs less, which actually even Lucknow should have chased a few runs less if they had fielded well. Anyway, that's another matter. But in Hardik's case, he had someone like a Miller who was turning it on with his strike rate. The problem is not KL Rahul's way of batting. I think every team, especially on a big chase, needed someone to bat at 130 strike rate. And if you're batting at 130, give a big total, which he did. Okay, anything over 50-60 runs, I consider a big total, which he did. And he, to me, seemed like he was calculating just as Hardik was calculating, and that calculation paid off. Well, Miller was the aggressor. Point with Lucknow was that nobody else. Stoinis wasted so many deliveries. Deepak Huda also took time to get going. Then Evan Lewis, I know, came in the wrong position. Again, in the 6 balls, on another day in 6 balls could have got to 20 runs also. We don't know. If that had happened, we wouldn't have been blaming KL Rahul. So someone needed to play that inning of a 130-40 strike rate, which KL did, and get you 80 runs, which KL Rahul did. But everyone else needed to step up. So I will not blame KL Rahul's strike rate. What I will blame them is the batting order.
Yep.
Evan Lewis, the guy who, when you were talking about that CSK chase, got 55, was man of the match. Now you're giving him to
Number
come
6,
there.
yeah.
Manan Vora ahead of Deepak Hooda, the man in form who's been outstanding. Why?
At number 3.
At
Number 3.
So these are the problems, not KL Rahul's inning. I think he did his role best. Now, when he goes to the Indian team, people will say what happens to him. I think when he plays for the Indian team, he will not bat in this fashion, because he knows in that Indian team there is a Virat Kohli, there is a Rohit Sharma who can be this guy.
Yes.
Around the fulcrum around who everyone scores. So if he has other guys to do that, then he'll take the role of batting at over 150, 160 strike rate. In this team he cannot. He has to be the fulcrum.
Yep.
You will see a different Rahul, and we've seen him also in the past. He can bat at that strike rate. So I'm not going to blame him. I'm going to blame Lucknow Super Giants. Firstly, fielding. That was pathetic. Should have allowed those many runs. And then the batting order. These are the two reasons why they lost.
Exactly. I mean, if I have to look at it, right from the season, Lucknow Super Giants' number 3 was always a problem. If you have to look at it, they tried Krishnappa Gautam, they tried all the other players.
When they tried Deepak Hooda, he was not a problem.
But then you didn't stick with him. That was the biggest issue that you had. Your number 3 was not stable. So that's why Quinton de Kock, KL Rahul. After that, who? Who would give that finishing touch, that finishing prowess? They all thought Stoinis would do it, but Stoinis struggled. Miscalculated even when they had to go for the kill against Rajasthan Royals. Didn't happen. So that is the major issue that I see with Lucknow. That number 3, and you lost the game in hindsight if you have to look at it when you dropped 3 catches. And whose 3 catches did you drop? Rajat Patidar and DK.
Yes.
And how many runs did those two combine in the last 5 overs? 84. 123 they were in 15 overs. Lucknow were 20 ahead at that time. Still, 84 runs, 5 overs can knock anybody out. And so, KL Rahul's batting is not a problem if you have to look at it. Because in the first time, if you look at his 50s and his centuries, only twice has his strike rate dipped to below 150. And those were in the last 2 games. Every other time when he scored 100 and a 50, his strike rate has been 150 plus. In the 68 that he hit against KKR, it was 133, here it was 136. So, whether we are reading too much because Lucknow lost in a position, but they already lost it when you dropped catches.
Whether we are reading too much into this, the way KL Rahul batted, I don't know. But the point is, this is how he batted with the Punjab Kings also, or Kings 11 Punjab earlier. Now, I agree with one fact that you said, you need somebody to bat right through the innings. But he was slow. And so was Deepak Hooda until he decided to go bang bang, and he scored a few boundaries in the last few balls. I think the last 6 deliveries that he played, he got some good number of boundaries, and eventually he finished with a strike rate of 160.
Yeah, more I think.
Close to 160. Now you gave an example of
173.
173. So you gave an example of which team? When you were comparing this sort of a scenario,
I gave Hardik Pandya, Gujarat.
Hardik Pandya and
David Miller.
Hardik Pandya was very sedate. In fact, he was playing the anchor's role. Now, this usually happens. This is how you pace your innings. If you see yesterday's match, the RCB, Virat Kohli and Rajat Patidar were batting. How did Virat bat? Virat was playing the anchor's role. But there was somebody who was striking at a very good pace. That was Rajat Patidar. A day before, you said Hardik Pandya and David Miller. Fair enough. Then the first innings, Sanju Samson and Josh Butler. Josh Butler was playing the anchor's role, and Sanju Samson was striking the ball. So this is how you play. Now they should have batted in a similar fashion, but you had a captain. KL Rahul could have asked Deepak Hooda to, you are not chasing 170 runs, 180.
No,
he could have asked Deepak Hooda.
When Deepak Hooda got out, you were on course to win the game. I'm saying Deepak Hooda, when he started late, when he got out, he's batted at 173 strike rate, which is absolutely perfect.
35 of 18, even when Deepak Hooda was gone, 35 of 18.
One.
35 of 18 deliveries they needed. They
I
had
agree.
one. Yes,
Yeah.
they had one.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
How did you lose them?
I'm saying that's the thing.
See,
KL Rahul got out at the wrong time, and the guys who had to take risk, and I think KL took the risk because the guys who were supposed to take risk were not. What I think the Stoinis inning is the one that cost you. Again,
See, I'm sorry. I might differ here.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can always say that Stoinis scoring how many? 6 or rather 3 of
9 of 9.
Yeah.
He got a 6. If you
6-second ball he got,
Yeah.
and then after that 3 runs, 7 balls.
So to an extent, I'll blame the management also for sending Manan Vora ahead of a Marco
Yes,
Stoinis
I
or
did.
an Evan
I
Lewis.
did blame them.
Yes,
I did.
fair
That's
enough.
the problem.
But then I'll tell you where you lost that game. KL Rahul 79 of 58 deliveries.
Yes.
5 sixes, 3 fours. That
42 of 8.
42 of 8 deliveries. He scored 42 of 8 deliveries. What did he do with the rest of the 50 deliveries?
How do I'm saying his strike rate is 136, right? At the end of the day,
136.
yes, is his strike rate?
Yeah.
Is it
And
good
he's-
enough?
Yeah, I'm saying for a guy who's getting me 80 runs, I take that strike rate because he then has to give me those many runs. Had he got 30 runs with that strike rate, that would have been.
The only point
He's got
is
me
he
80
didn't
runs.
finish the game for
Yes,
me.
he
The
did.
only
My
problem
point is I'll give you examples.
I'm saying you play at a strike rate of 120, but finish the game.
telling you, let's take. He is trying to be the Dhoni or the
No.
Pandya. I'm saying what? Okay, games that finish where successful chases, right? There will be a Dhoni who's there, or there's a Pandya there. They've done it. They're also calculating.
Yes.
They are also playing similar innings.
Yes.
But the guys on the other end is the one who's taking the risk and helping them
Yes.
win. So Rahul is taking that role of the guy who's calculating, who's giving you 80 runs.
But the other person,
I am saying, I give you our example, okay? Our example of when we are playing games. What does if one guy is hitting, other guy has to be there, so that you need your top 3 guys or 4 guys to be there till the end. Then you can attack. My point is, the day we start attacking, we have to get runs quickly. Every guy, if he's going to attack, you lose 4 wickets in power play, you're finished. So he has to be that. There has to be one guy.
that is
top guy who has to go
the
till
reason
end.
why I am saying, somebody who spent so much time, who's played 58 deliveries, who's played majority in a game of 120 deliveries. If you've consumed 50% of the deliveries, your strike rate cannot be 136. Even if it is, I'm saying okay. Had it been 120 and KL Rahul would have won that game for Gujarat for Lucknow Super Giants, nobody would have complained.
Yeah.
We are comparing him with Dhoni. Dhoni in his form, he had that ability. He would calculate that I'll take the game deep. But the ability of Dhoni was that he could finish the game. Now
Yes.
Virat Kohli, we call him the chase master. His ability was, he was completely different from what Dhoni would do or what Dhoni was. He would want to finish the game as soon as possible. So I am saying KL Rahul. Now Nikhil, just numbers. I am not stat padding here just to criticize KL Rahul. It's a problem that KL Rahul has been facing for quite some time. This season, if you take out this season, batting first, his average is close to 100,
Yes.
and his strike rate is 150. Batting second, which means while you are
Chasing.
when you are chasing, his average is somewhere around close to 25-28. And that too, maybe because of this 79 run knock that he played yesterday. Otherwise, his average was in the vicinity of
Below
around
20,
19, and his average and his strike rate is close to 110.
See, that is okay. You can point that he has not done well in chases. Fine, that will the criticism will go. I'm saying in the situation yesterday, you needed one guy to bat like that, and he did that. You had won the game with that. I'm saying it's a game of small margins. That flick, if he tried that, scoop behind, if it was marginally here, it was a 4. He could have been there till the end. There are games when we're talking about a Dhoni or whatever, when they played in similar fashion, more often than not it's worked for them, and that's why they are legends. But there have been times where they've tried to do that, take it to
They
deep,
failed.
and they've got caught out. But we've not looked at the strike rate then.
Yeah.
Someone has to be there to take it. And in this case, if a KL Rahul is giving me, if he's giving me 80 runs, I need one batsman to give me 80, 90, 100 runs. That batsman's strike rate I'll accept at 130, 140, 140, whatever is. But the other guys who are going to give me 20, 30, 40 runs, their strike rate has to be 170 plus. Nobody else stepped up. And as I'm saying, what?
I agree with Kumar Prashant is saying. I don't think Rahul should be criticized if he had got out taking chances, okay, the team would not have come close.
Exactly.
And, sure.
But he's saying if he had got out earlier taking chances, it wouldn't have come close. This is my point.
How do
he's
we
the one
know?
who's taking that. But again, I'm just.
They won a game.
I am
Evan Lewis won them a game.
True, Evan Lewis did. I'm saying one guy has to be the thing. He is the guy. See, everyone has different role. If everyone is going to bat like, okay, did we not criticize KKR and Punjab for batting aimlessly? Why? Because their approach was every game, every guy go black. That's the problem.
But he's KL Rahul.
But that's what I'm saying.
You expect.
So he's giving you 80 runs.
But
He's giving
Nikhil,
you 80 runs.
why,
not everyone can give you 80
why is
runs.
everybody criticizing KL Rahul today?
That's what I'm saying.
Is it just because of one match? Do you really think it is just because of one match?
I am saying yes, but that is the thing. You got to understand. You're saying that this approach couldn't have been his only approach. This would have been part of team talk. When you sit and you decide, you say you are the guy who are going to give me a lot of runs. Listen, KL, you're the fulcrum. You have to go till the last 2-3 overs. I want you to give me a big total at 130-40. Everyone else, Mr. Lewis, Mr. Stoinis here, you are going to get only 20 balls. I want a striker. These are our roles. Let's go for it. He did his role. I'm saying that scoop over 4 was marginally here. 4 he could have been.
But why?
No, the problem.
That fielder standing there.
I agree that the team did well. Like there is a comment there by Shubham. He's saying so. It's better to applaud RCB because Hazelwood and Harshal were phenomenal. That's
Absolutely.
What I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So we are blaming the batsmen and the stand.
I agree.
Forgetting their That's what I'm saying. On a given day, some poor bowling, KL would have been till the end. They would have
No, the problem that you had compared with Miller and Hardik. In LSG's case, there was an anchor in Rahul, but there was no Miller at the other end to do that. So
nobody did that.
Can Rahul, who's an anchor, suddenly now become into Miller mode and change?
Exactly.
That's also another problem.
I'm saying if I was part of this LSG team, now game is finished and I'm sitting and I'm thinking, what you lost? Who is the one I'm going to now pinpoint it? Am I going to tell a KL Rahul who's got me 80 runs, okay, at 130-40 strike rate? He's the captain and that's the role. He's not my problem. My problem was we fielded poorly.
Yes.
We should have given to okay done.
Yes.
Then when I wanted to go into bat, I will then sit with every guy. Listen, Quinton, you're my top guy. You get me good runs. This is a big game. I expected you to step up. You did not. Marcus, you are there in the team as to you don't expect
4 dots.
I am
before
saying
getting out.
that these batsmen, whether again, I will also blame the management who decided this batting order. That's another thing. Then I will also blame if this batting order decided the Stoinis or the Evan Lewis. I'll say, listen, boss, you will only get 10-15 balls in this match. But 10-15 balls, I need 30-40 runs.
Yes.
That is your but nobody. I don't think he's the guy who's.
I expect better from KL Rahul.
You will see a different KL Rahul in the Indian team, as I said. Because when he knows, let's say, that role may go to a Virat.
But when was the last time we saw a different KL Rahul?
You didn't see the T20 World Cup, those matches where he
against
got runs.
Namibia and Scotland.
But then he has to step up on big games. I'm saying he has the capability to bat at that.
This is exactly why he is facing all this criticism, not Manan Vora.
Rahul, if he had gotten out at 20, game was done there.
How do we know?
Quinton, KL Rahul out, game is finished. Game is finished.
Okay.
You know that.
Okay.
Game is finished.
Okay.
Quinton gone. See,
Shubman Gill and Riddhiman Saha also were dismissed cheaply.
But Shubman Gill, Riddhiman Saha not as important as KL Rahul, Quinton de Kock.
The thing is,
Rahul was out for 20 runs. Game was finished.
You are saying
game
that
was done.
no, but then you are saying that Marcus Stoinis and Evan Lewis, they didn't have.
I'm saying would not have. Game was only alive. You reached a stage where you could have won only because KL Rahul got you the lead.
And
if he had not, game was finished.
The key factor in the Gujarat Titans thing is their top order is a hit and miss. It's their lower middle order that has been helping you win games.
Yes,
Hardik, Miller, Rashid, Tewatia.
And they have their problem is exactly the opposite.
They don't have because that is why Rahul does not have confidence probably.
But
the lower middle order.
But this is the problem that he was facing with the Punjab also.
Yeah.
So the problem is
that is why I think he's
with the team. Or the role that he's either taking himself or to start with, even for Gujarat, everybody thought that they don't have the batting lineup. So you have to instill confidence in yourself and you have to give that confidence to your team also.
Where does the kick? Okay, I'll tell you. Where does the kick come from for Gujarat? The X factor in batting. Where does it come? Middle order. Right. Where does the kick come for Lucknow?
Only de Kock and Rahul.
Top 3, even Huda 3.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That's
but you can't discount the fact that there is somebody called Evan Lewis, Marcus Marcus
But
Stoinis,
it's
proven,
not- that's
proven.
what I'm saying. Then either you send them there.
You should
change
have.
the bat-
I'm
agree the batting
I'm not
order is a
blaming-
problem.
Lucknow did not help themselves when Evan Lewis was in top form. You dumped him and then you had Marcus Stoinis
Yes.
come back in.
You know,
That
you
is-
could. I'm saying you could have at least rotated the strike. How many times did he even try to? So what I was saying, 50 deliveries. Rest of the 50 deliveries, he got just 35 runs.
I'm saying you will see at the end now how a batsman. See, you're looking at the strike rate of 136. How he gets to
Yeah,
that
Josh
136
Butler was
doesn't
struggling
matter.
the other day. Josh Butler was struggling.
Then
How? What
so
was
do you
his strike?
blame-
What was
I'm
his
saying,
strike
okay,
rate?
I agree. I am saying he was struggling. Did you blame Josh Butler for Rajasthan's loss?
No.
Then did you blame? And my point is, he got 2 runs. Is one
Because eventually, how many
the
runs
other
did
guy
he?
stepped up.
And also Josh Butler made it count. Josh Butler
So
was, I
he
think he
did-
was
he got
playing at a
80
strike
runs.
rate of 30 odd runs, sorry, 100,
100, just
till
over
30,
100,
35.
yeah.
And immediately when he changed that gear, he finished with a strike rate of close to
But
140.
where did
40.
he change the gear towards the end? You're chasing different situation. I'm saying he knows if he's
So
out.
that
he's
is what
out.
I am saying, that maybe there's a problem with the calculation. Maybe he miscalculates.
How you say they were in a winning position? Where was the miscalculation? When they needed in the 3 overs 30 odd runs, a winning position.
Yep.
They should have won calculation.
They should have won, and that is the
That's
reason.
what I'm saying. Everyone needs to step up. If he had batted till the end, would have won you. But he got out. Everyone else
Yeah.
step up now. Get 35.
35 of 18, 4 dot balls from Stoinis.
Ricardo, please.
4 dot balls from Stoinis, 33 of 12. Whole different ball game altogether.
Bottom.
Just
अब एक दो questions भी ले लेते हैं. Dev Bhavsar says, I think we are talking too much about KL and need to give more credit to RCB bowlers for defending 35 of 18. I think the way RCB bowled in 6 to 12 kept the game. Absolutely agree, Dev.
Yep.
We've discussed how well.
Middle,
Acha, Sagar Singhal, let me take that
Yeah.
question, even though it is directed towards you.
No, you
Sir, I have never seen Kohli, Dhoni, Rohit playing 50 deliveries and team losing while chasing. But since last 3 years, I can give you multiple examples where Rahul has made runs and team lost. Sagar, this is exactly what I was also saying. Dhoni, Kohli and Rohit Sharma in their form. And mind you, KL Rahul is 31 today. He is 31
Yeah.
years old. And
But KL Rahul is not a MS Dhoni. A KL Rahul is not a Virat Kohli.
then
Yes.
we have to accept that.
He's not. Who says? Is Virat Kohli KL Rahul same? No.
No.
Well, so then Virat Kohli will go down as one of the greatest.
KL Rahul is KL Rahul.
Exactly.
There is no comparison whatsoever.
That is a different job that they
KL
do.
Rahul, and there's no comparison between MS
course.
Dhoni, Virat Kohli, Rohit
course.
Sharma and KL Rahul. That's a fact. So why are we discussing this topic? Maybe because we expect a lot from KL Rahul.
I think click कर दो भाई. Shobham Sai says, in the Indian team perspective, if I have to see KL will still play with strike rate of 130, then Rohit and Virat need to take chance. Who are the match winners than KL? Shobham, I don't think KL will play with that strike rate. I think he'll play with different strike rate. He may start with that strike rate, but I think if he was to bat 50 balls for India, he would be at a much higher
Strike.
rate.
I think
100%.
the problem in the last 4 years for KL Rahul has been the lack of confidence that he has with his own batting unit, be it Kingsland Punjab or Lucknow Super Giants.
They are even against the better bowling attacks internationally also. When has KL Rahul done well?
Shiva.
I know you can give me a few numbers, you can give me, but consistently he has not. Virat Kohli in his form, it would not make a difference whether he's playing against Zimbabwe, Bangladesh, Australia, England, South Africa, Pakistan, any team. Single-handedly that man will win you matches.
Yep.
And same is the case with MS Dhoni in his form. That was how their body and mind would function.
Yes.
Here I'm not blaming that. I'm not saying that KL Rahul is solely responsible for the loss that LSG suffered yesterday. It also has a lot to do with the management. They may have expected that Manan Vora will do something that Rajat Patidar did, but that is not going to happen.
Yep.
But KL Rahul will also have to take some
So
blame.
Karthik M is saying, Nikhil sir, the problem was intent. When Manedu
Exactly.
and Arshal were bowling, he should pick bowlers. He was taking singles in Shahbaz's over.
To add to Dev Bhaskar's comment, that 6 to 12, in that period they managed only 40 runs after a great start in the power play wherein they had 62. So perhaps there a slight miscalculation, perhaps 6 overs 40, because that run rate went to 13. and they were playing catch up from that point in time.
I agree with Karthik. You know, he is also saying, and also I
Karthik's
thought.
question only.
Yeah.
नीचे जाना थोड़ा Rahul. What is Rahul saying?
And also, Nikhil, you know, I thought that he was playing. He was a little premeditated at times because there were a lot of deliveries that were bowled on his offside, and he wanted to pull them again and again and again and again, and he couldn't connect. So, and the kind of caliber that KL Rahul has, he could have easily lofted those deliveries, you know, over the fence on the offside, but he didn't.
But that's what I'm saying, na? Because he knows that after him it's going to be tough. That's what I'm saying. Rahul Chaturvedi says they lost because the batting order. You can't win 200 plus matches in last if you have fire in the start. Evan Lewis has to be 3 or 4.
That is also one of the reasons.
Kumar, Prashant says, Nikhil sir, we are over exaggerating KL. He is class. He has his form of game. Every player has a different style. He's playing for India will be different. Don't compare with that. That's what I also said.
But he's saying we are over exaggerating.
Yeah, matlab you're
over exaggerating the entire.
No, his role in the loss is what he's saying. अरे कहाँ था एक और question था. We've gone to कहीं पे तो okay कहीं से भी ले लो. हाँ. KL prizes his wicket a lot. Sanskar Saxena is saying he doesn't believe middle order's ability to finish game. That's what I was saying. That's why he plays careful. So I'm saying the place.
But he's the captain. If he doesn't have confidence in his own players, I'm sorry.
He has to play accordingly. Now, again, I'll take you back to Kings and KKR when they were batting that mindless fashion that we'll all attack. I should say you have to look at situation. One guy has to bat this way, other. I'm saying looking at the combination, and also if you see one other reason could be maybe he had a lot of faith, but the way the entire middle order has performed this IPL, maybe that's forced him to play like that.
Yeah, he's been unable to change gears, surprisingly, KL Rahul. Exactly. That's a big concern. Yes, no one's questioning his consistency, but change of gears, he used to do that in the past. Why is it not happening now? That's a big question.
What is that? Qatar? Is that, what is that?
Qatari Real.
Qatari Real.
Shidu Abraham is saying KL is the best batsman right now in India, but his mindset is not right. Shouldn't someone speak to him to stop playing for stats and play selfless? So maybe we don't know whether this was a part of the strategy of the team also. But it will be interesting to note his approach for the Indian team. Maybe then we'll get a clearer idea whether, you know, is he really stat padding or whether that's the role that is being defined.
And the worrying part for me is that KL is the best batsman right now in India. That's
not Hardik Pandya. Come on.
Hardik Hardik Pandya looks like a man possessed, to be very honest.
Yep.
Rijul Paul says KL had shown his intent in 2018 in T20 cricket. Since then, he always had taken the backseat and taken the game deeper. Only few glimpses he had shown in the last few years. He's been criticized as we know he had the capability to match. That's what I'm saying.
But that's.
I know he has the capability, but the situation, team, all of that is. I don't think his stat padding is.
Since 2019, if you have to look at it.
To be very honest, no batsman on earth would want that he gets 100 and his team loses. Nobody would want that to happen.
Exactly. नीचे आ जाओ एकदम bottom click कर दो.
Which did happen with KL Rahul, unfortunately, that knock against West Indies.
No, it has happened so many
times. Yep.
Sankalp is saying, taking classic example of Virat's chasing approach in Rohit, ABD, Virat partnership, mostly Virat anchors and then the other one plays aggressively. The other one gets out, then Virat plays aggressively. KL doesn't do this, is his.
Like I said, changing of gears, he's not been able to do it for the past couple of years.
And against which teams did he get his centuries, KL?
He's got it against Zimbabwe, against Mumbai. Two against Mumbai, both against Mumbai.
Nikhil, can I ask you one question?
For example, you take out all the runs he's got against.
No. I am saying you are a player who's been selected in the IPL tomorrow, maybe next season you play for, or maybe
this the sports tak IPL.
Maybe this season if you would have been playing in the IPL. I'm asking you one question: which team would you prefer to bat against? In terms of
bat against.
Yes.
Which team? Good question.
I'm saying you would fancy your chances of scoring a good number of runs against which team this season?
I'm just trying to think. CSK, Mumbai Indians, one of them.
That's your answer. That's what I was trying to say.
CSK for me, but because Mumbai Indians, both the centuries that Rahul hit at a strike rate of 150 plus.
You got my point, right?
I know what you are trying to say.
Yeah.
No, but
I'm not saying that it doesn't make a difference whether he scores a 100 against Mumbai, this thing, but I'm just trying to, because a lot of people have pasted that remark.
So Austin Pune says, Rahul sir, I agree with you. When you're chasing at 10 points per over, KL had to be 79 of 45. You can't expect the rest of the team to score 130 of 10 when you only score 79 in 10. Okay, Lucky Patel wants to know, Rahul, tell which was the time that KL made 100 and the team lost that match. Which match?
Sorry, where is it?
Lucky
Rahul,
Patel.
tell me, KL Rahul made 100 and
Team lost the match. Which match?
team? KL Rahul's team?
Yes, KL Rahul's team.
Lucknow Super Giants.
International cricket or it has happened.
Yeah, international cricket it's happened, but in this IPL it's not happened.
It has not happened, but in the past it has happened. In the past,
He's hit 4 centuries. 132 he hit for Punjab. RCB lost to that. To Mumbai, he's hit 3 against Mumbai, and
ये I think कर लिया था लेटेस्ट वाला हो गया तो नीचे
I think they've not lost. Whenever Rahul's hit a century in the IPL, they've not lost. In Rahul, IPL
they
में
have lost, yaar.
4 centuries. Out of the 4 centuries,
They
he's hit.
lost last season or last to last season they lost.
Yuju Shroy is saying, Nikhil sir, in 208 chase you can't make 50 of 45. But what is the end result? What is the strike rate at the end? His strike rate at the end is at 138 or almost 140. And you were in a position to win the game, is my point. 35 meter or 18, you reached a winning position, any team would want. How you reach there is, based on his 80 runs only you reach there.
Correct.
My point is that finish didn't happen, that kick didn't happen. Had that thing that he tried gone a bit wide of the fielder, would have been 4.
He didn't get that aggressor from the other end towards the end.
Also, I'm just saying that approach took you to a
He was there in the middle. He could have asked Deepak Hooda or
if it
any
was
other.
if it was a situation
He's
like
the captain of that
Indian team at the semi-final of the 2015 World Cup against Australia, where you were not even trying to get close as another batter. Here you were in a winning position, boss. That's what I'm saying. So did you lose the match because of that? The guy who gets you 80 runs at 140 strike rate, you lost the match because of him? I don't think so. You could still criticize in India. I'm saying if you're going to look for reasons, there are variety of more reasons why KL Rahul's team, that is Lucknow Super Giants, lost. And I think those reasons need to be addressed. What I was saying is that the maximum hate is coming to KL Rahul. Try to put yourself in your position. If I had got an 80 run at 140, my team lost. Should I be taking the blame?
Nikhil, one thing, I wouldn't want to use a word like hate. You can actually term it criticism. And secondly, you criticize somebody, you are not criticizing any other player, because maybe people actually expect a lot out of KL Rahul.
People are saying, there are comments saying, show me one game where he has won you in chasing. He can't do anything in chasing. Tell me one time that if he cannot do, then why expecting? Then take this, it's a great thing.
No, yeah, see,
maybe he can't.
By the way, KL Rahul's 2 centuries in international cricket have come in chases. Okay. Now, I think we've discussed this earlier also. His top score was 110, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, West Indies.
Against West Indies. What was the result of that score?
Lost by 1 run.
Lost by 1 run.
Said this.
Okay. Now, the other century that he got, that was in Manchester against England. Okay. That century also came in a chase. Okay. What happened to that? You were chasing how many runs? 159. Okay. You were chasing 159 and KL Rahul got 100, by the way.
And you won.
Who was man of the match? Kuldeep Yadav for his 5 wicket haul.
5 wickets.
Okay. Yeah. Now, okay, the next one is against West Indies. He got, I think, 91 odd runs.
Wankhede.
Of course, they batted first.
But I think that match had Kohli 94 also.
Kohli scored only 70 runs.
70, okay.
At a strike rate of 241. And Rohit Sharma got 71 at a strike rate of 208. KL Rahul got 91 at a strike rate of 162.
91 and
162 is still great, yeah.
Any day.
Yeah.
डॉक्टर जैकल सेइंग यही केएल आपको वर्ल्ड कप जिताएगा भाई लोगों.
सर उम्मीद ही एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम यही है. कि केएल राहुल से ही उम्मीदें हैं.
Yes.
Karthik Sharma says difference between LSG and RCB is basically Hasaranga's fielding.
Absolutely.
That's true. He was on
Phenomenal.
So then you can also always say that the catch that KL Rahul dropped or the one that
That was
Huda
a very
dropped.
tough chance. Yeah. He had taken it, but when he fell, it happens. Yeah. That was a tough one.
Why was he standing at mid-off? Must have been some reason, na? That was not a power play. You would prefer to have
Captain always stands next to the bowler.
No, I am saying no. He also fields there at
But he
mid-on
next
or
to the
mid-off
bowler.
or long on or
I
long
think
off.
that was a very tough chance. And he got it. It's just that when he fell, it just.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Then Deepak Hooda also dropped. I completely agree. Hasaranga's that attempt that he made
That
at
he saved a 6, 2 4s, made a difference of 12-15 runs.
We have to leave also, gentlemen.
Yep.
Stop somewhere, wherever. Vaishnavi Swaminathan says, as far as I know, I have seen KL Rahul score only versus Netherlands, Scotland, Ireland, and against
And
big
Namibia
opposition.
Yeah.
And Namibia. He's just a minnow basher. Vaishnavi's comment.
That's a little unfair.
Unfair, yeah, actually, if I look at it.
Chaitanya Bhagat says LSG's top 3 scoring still up to 20 overs in middle order batsmen not proving their chances. No one crosses. That's true. That's
That middle order was
Big problem.
a big powder keg.
Yeah. They were saying the problem is not the approach. The problem is if he's not able to finish after playing half the total balls. If he can finish the
That
matches,
is what I'm
no one will
saying.
dare to criticize his approach.
Yes.
Sanskar. Terrible batting strategy by LSG. Nofil Zakia, we've discussed that. Yeah. What is Vaibhav Taragi saying? Getting your team through the line, what matters in the end. Please don't advocate KL Rahul for no good reason. World knows he plays with safety first approach and expects others to do the job.
But is it
Hey.
safety first?
It
That's
is
what.
safety first.
But that's how cricket is.
No,
You
again,
don't
the,
want foolishness first.
the problem is KL didn't
You know,
have that
is
other
why-
guy who did the Miller in that
perhaps
game.
that is why we are different from the kind of cricket that England plays. Perhaps
But
that
are
is the
England,
reason.
are England World T20 champions?
No, but still they enter a tournament as favorites.
No, does-
Even we are not.
We also entered the
No, but
tournament.
at
as
least
well.
they play the
I
final.
am saying
At
this
least they
whole
play
thing
the final.
is overrated. This approach thing is what I'm trying to say. Gujarat, look at how Gujarat, they're playing sensible cricket.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they're not playing
But
that.
are they playing LSG? Are they?
I am
actually-
saying the two teams that played that foolish England approach are Punjab Kings and KKR.
KKR.
Where they have finished. My point is that it's overrated. So you want a foolish first approach and not a sensible first approach. Okay, one final question we take. We got to run as man.
Yep.
Click कर दो भाई शिवम. Rupees.
He got one more rupee.
One more rupee.
Super chat.
Every time, Shobhan Sai is saying every time we can't say that team is at fault for a captain batsman who can't finish the game for you. PBKS, we cursed the management. Now also the same. KL is the only constant here. Everything is.
So what has PBK has done this season? Please tell me.
Yep.
So KL was the problem. He left Punjab and
That
Punjab Kings has won the title and their approach was the best. We've been criticizing their approach this season also.
Yes.
So I think Sobham, you are watching a different IPL than I am.
Absolutely. No, I can't agree with that.
Chalo. Anyways, are we done?
One few more questions?
Yeah, few more.
We have to go also.
Yes.
We have our own match, yeah.
Ha.
See, you've got close to 1,000 people watching you and you want to leave them. Rahul is wasting, Austin Kuna is saying, KL Rahul is wasting his peak. Virat at his peak won games for India and RCB across formats, every time having a strike rate of 150 plus in T20Is, 100 plus in ODIs. That's why Rahul can't get to 973 runs, which Kohli got.
No one can get to that 973 mark
Yeah,
now.
nobody.
It's like, I think 973 seems like 100 international hundreds of Sachin Tendulkar.
Yep. Oof. Yeah, that mark, unless Butler goes absolutely crazy in that second qualifier, only
Why were you
then.
looking
But
on the
still-
left yesterday?
I just read Kya?
Why were you looking on the left yesterday?
Because you were sitting to my left, if I'm not
No,
wrong.
Yesterday,
You, Aditi, and
No,
who was
yesterday
there?
we were not there.
Huh?
yesterday they were not there.
Yesterday I'm
No?
talking about. Yesterday I was not here.
I was sitting there or here only? I was sitting here, na?
Here only.
Kushal may have got the dates wrong.
Yes.
So we'll skip that comment.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta go, guys. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your time. Don't forget to download the Gamezy app. There's an important update. If you're a big football fan, Champions League is coming up. We have got a special build-up for you. We'll be getting you all the latest updates live from Paris. And that's a
Yes.
treat for all Sports Today viewers. We'll also be watching the game live. Liverpool, Real Madrid live, 12:30 onwards. We'll be here chatting. So join us for that watch along. And we'll have a colleague of ours join us live from Paris with the latest updates. So we'll see you then. Tonight, 7:30 is our game live in about 40 minutes live on
Yes.
SportsTak app. Our own cricket match. If you want to watch it, download the SportsTak app and watch us there. That's all. Otherwise, tomorrow we'll be here 6:45.
Yep.
As always,
Big
building
game.
up.
Qualifier
Big game for
to
Rahul
Halla
versus
bol.
Rajasthan.
No, I was actually discussing, talking about Rajasthan Royals with some of the people involved in the team.
Oh,
I gave them the confidence that you're winning tomorrow. I told them.
Yep.
Anyway, see you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.
Vanakkam.
Are Soman Sai. Sorry, mates. Huh?